Good evening. I'm Chanel, Vehicle Title Expert. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I thank you in advance for subscribing. So, tonight I will be continuing with the series Auto Registrations, and tonight I will talk about plate transfer issues. So, I really wanted to talk about this segment on tonight, plate transfer issues, because it's very complicated and is a frequent issue that I see a lot in the auto title process. So, I will be covering four key points on tonight. Hopefully, you guys will, take heed to these matters so that you can avoid, getting rejected when it comes to plate transfer issues. Or if you do get rejected, you will understand why, if DMV put those restrictions in place. So the first thing I want to highlight is the transferring of plates between spouses. And this normally happens during the gifting of vehicles. So this plays out in one or two ways. The first example would be, let's say a husband has a vehicle that he is gifting to his wife, and he wants to also allow her to keep the plates on that vehicle. Okay, so under normal circumstances, she would not be able to use his plates because she was not on that title with him prior. Okay, now depending on the state, if the husband happens to have personalized plates in this example, he can relinquish his rights from that personalized plate, and she can keep the plate with that vehicle, and it will, be in her name, of course. So that's one example. Another example is you have husband and wife on the vehicle. Wife decides to go and buy another vehicle, but she also wants to take the plate off of the first vehicle that she has with her husband and put it on the new vehicle. This is possible. So, for example, in the state of Illinois, the husband and wife will both complete an affirmation form relinquishing that plate from that first vehicle and allowing the wife to transfer it to the newer vehicle that would be in her name. So again, in the state of Illinois, that is possible. Just make sure you have that affirmation form completed as such. Okay. So the next key point would be weight restrictions, and this is pertaining to high weighted vehicles versus lower weighted vehicles. So you will not be able to transfer a vehicle plate that's coming from a lower end or lower weighted vehicle going to a higher weighted vehicle. Okay, you cannot do that, or vice versa. You can't take plates coming from a higher weighted vehicle to a lower weighted vehicle. The reason being is because of the classes. Now, I did a video prior talking about, registration weights, vehicle weights, and classes and things of that nature. You cannot transfer in this case because you are given plates for your vehicles based on the weight, based on the class, based on the type of vehicle that you have. So DMV, they have restrictions in place. So if you normally try to transfer, in this type of situation here, you will have issues, and DMV will put restrictions in place to stop that plate transfer. Okay. The third point is transferring plates that are expired. You cannot transfer plates that are expired. What you would end up having to do is renew those plates and then transfer the plates accordingly. Now, keep in mind with this point, depending on your state, certain states give you a certain amount of time to renew the plates. You may have 6 months, you may have 9 months, sometimes you may have a year. If you do not renew those plates, they become dead, they become inactive, and sometimes they just fall out of a DMV system altogether. And if this happens, you wouldn't be able to renew, and of course, you wouldn't be able to transfer. So the worst case would be getting new plates. So if you're trying to transfer plates, be mindful of your expiration date first. And lastly, if you are buying a vehicle from a private party, you will not be able to use their plates. I do see sometimes, during private sales, the seller will try to, give their plates to the buyer, and this is not permissible. Okay, so keep that in mind. The buyer will end up having to get their own plates. So keep these 4 points in mind when you are considering transferring plates to your vehicle. If you have any plate transfer issues you would like to share or you need guidance on, drop me a line below or visit me at wisdomandauthority.com. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Please check me out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Please click share and subscribe. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.